it's me, and today I'm here with the movies I've seen in November and December, which is, for all of these movies except one, it's gonna be all Christmas movies, so I hope you're ready for it. Also, I'm sorry for the unconventional angle and the blankets, but I am freezing. I just filmed another video where I was in my normal angle, and I'm too cold to stay like that. So yeah, I'm covered in blankets, and I'm ready to do this video about Christmas movies, which I feel like it's appropriate to have a blanket for that. Also, like always, there's timestamps for every single movie in the description down below, so you can just skip to whatever movie you want to hear about, because I'm sure this is going to be a long one. The first movie I saw in the month of November is Let It Snow, which was a 2019 Netflix original. It's a adaptation from the John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle novel, like short story collection, which I read a couple, I think last year or the year before, I don't remember exactly, but I read it, and yeah, it's basically a collection. The book is a collection of 3 stories, each written by a different author, that all take place on Christmas or Christmas Eve, I don't remember. I think Christmas Eve, I could be wrong. And they do connect in the end, eventually. But I ended up giving the movie the same rating as the book, but I did think I like the movie more because, well, I don't remember the book that well, but I feel like the changes they made were good ones, because I had some problems with the book that I didn't have with the movie. But the problem I had with the movie is that it didn't really balance the different stories that well. Like, I feel like some stories were more prominent than others, and sadly enough, the story that was most prominent was the one I personally cared least about. Then the next movie I saw in the month of November is the only movie on this list that isn't a Christmas movie, and it's 13 going on 30. This was one of the streaming services I was on, and this is a movie I've been wanting to watch for a while, but I haven't really like seen it anywhere till then. So I was like, okay, I'll put it on, and I was planning on just like watching it in pieces, like just whenever. Honestly, this was my dorm whenever I was like eating or something, I want to have something on, and I thought this movie would be great for it. But then I ended up watching it in one sitting, just all the way through, because I just couldn't stop. I love this movie so much. It's so much fun. Also a little bit heartbreaking, and yeah, I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was a fun movie. It has a interesting concept, and I've seen movies with this concept before, but like maybe not the exact same ages, but like the same concept before, you know. But I think this movie executed it the best. All of these are like rom-com type of movies, so like don't expect much from me. The next movie I watched is The Night Before Christmas, which also came out in 2019, a Netflix original. Look, the Netflix original Christmas movies aren't the best. At least like the ones I've seen. I know that like Claus, for example, is very well loved, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm so sorry. But like the rom-com Netflix movies are not great. But I think this one is my favorite from it. I don't know why. But I have a soft spot for Vanessa Hudgens because she was Gabriella in High School Musical, and for a big chunk of my life I wanted to be Gabriella from High School Musical. So like, yeah. So, but yeah, I think this movie was just fun, had some heart to it, had great family dynamic in it as well, which I wasn't really expecting. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. A little bit ridiculous. I feel like all of these movies are a little bit ridiculous, but this takes in like a fantasy element, so it makes more like it can be a little bit more ridiculous. When I watched this movie, I also had to rewatch The Princess Switch, which came out in 2018, and talking about ridiculous, this one is ridiculous. Also, worst case of install of ever, but for some reason I still love this movie. Like I don't know. I know realistically this movie is bad, but like you're not gonna take away my enjoyment of it. Like just. And also there's gonna be a Princess Switch 2 with a third Vanessa Hudgens, which like me is intrigued. Okay, this video might not be long because I'm not talking about these movies so long, but I don't know what they say about them, but oh well. Then are we moving on to December? Yeah, think that was it for November, so now I'm moving on to the December movies, which I watched a lot more because I wanted to watch like a bunch of Christmas movies before Christmas. But yeah, then the next movie I watched is Christmas Prince, which was again a rewatch. And honestly, I watched A Christmas Prince and its sequel for the first time last year, but I feel like rewatching it, like, I don't know. All of them I had on in the background while actually doing other things, and I feel like they're good for that. Like, put it on in the background while wrapping presents, or while cleaning, or whatever. Like, they're great for that, but like, to actually sit down and pay attention to, like, they don't do it for me. Like, I feel like the first one is the best one, but that's where it stops. Like, I had a lot of fun with the first one, with this one. So then after the Christmas Prince, I watched the second one, which is A Christmas Prince, The Royal Wedding, and I feel like the politics that were put in here just felt pushed in. Like, they knew that the romance wasn't enough to carry this plot, so like, let's push in some politics, which wasn't really that connected to like what was going on in the romance, so it just made it feel like kind of pointless. Well, I feel like it was an interesting thing they did, but just like the way they did it, it was just not really well executed. I don't know if I'm making sense at all, but I'm still saying all of this. Then the last one of the trilogy, of course, is The Christmas Prince, The Royal Baby, which in this case, they made the politics tie into like the romance a little bit, but the way they did it wasn't really great. Like, they tried to like put in like a fantasy element, but like just felt weird, and I don't know. This is my least favorite of the bunch, definitely. But at the same time, I enjoyed it more than the second one. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, yeah. So it has a higher rating for me than the second one, even though like plot-wise I like it less. I think Film Theory recently did a great video on this trilogy, and yeah, I'll leave a link down below even, because Muppet and Stephanie and the whole crew put in so much work for the videos, and I feel like they don't get enough recognition for what they do, so shout out to them, even though like it's not gonna benefit anything from me, but oh well. Then I probably watched the worst movie I've ever seen, which says a lot. A Cinderella Story, Christmas Wish, which this was very, very rough. Like, very rough. I feel like it did nothing really unique with the Cinderella story. I feel like, yes, a Cinderella story with Hilary Duff and another Cinderella story with Selena Gomez were also not the best movies, but like, at least they did something different with the Cinderella format. But this one, worst one, definitely. Well, I haven't seen a bunch, but like, I can't assume they're worse than it. This felt like a rehash from a lot of things I've seen before, not just Cinderella retellings. I don't know, and then also just the obviousness of things, like main character and love interest, like they work together but they don't recognize each other. Like, one I get, like the guy I get, he's like in full Sentai attire, like I get that. Like, honestly, you have just the eyes and the mouth to work out of, like I guess you don't recognize them. But the girl just has a pink wig and elf ears, and you don't recognize her. Like, how shitty of a person do you have to be to not recognize her? And also, the resolution just felt very unrealistic. Wasn't a fan. And yeah. Next movie is one I'm probably gonna get hate over, but it's Elf. And I watched this for the first time, which already is mind-boggling to me that I haven't seen this before now. But to be fair, this movie came out in 2003, and I was 2, so I feel like I have an excuse. But I didn't really like this movie. Like, I get the appeal. I get why people love this movie. I just personally didn't. It didn't really vibe with me that well. I think the developments of the characters weren't well made. Like, for example, like Buddy's like father, he just switched from the mean guy to the nice guy, and there wasn't really any development towards this. The romance felt very cringy. I've seen so many movies this year that are like seen as like pretty great movies, especially comedy wise, like in the comedy genre, like Elf, and Ghostbusters also earlier this year that I saw, that just have this forced in romance that I'm just like, why are you here? Like it doesn't make sense. Like they don't develop it well, and they just, I don't know, it doesn't work. Another movie kind of falls in the same trend, Love Actually. Again, 2003, I was 2. So that's why I haven't seen it. Also because I found out my mom doesn't like it as well. When I told her I watched this, she was like, oh, no, I don't like that one. That's also probably why I haven't seen it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like none of the romances would have developed well enough. And I didn't care about them. I feel like it also tried... Well, that's not true. The little boy with, like, the kids. I cared so much about that little kid's happiness. That is unreal. But for the rest, I didn't care about anything else happening in this movie. Because I feel like we spent too little time with each relationship for me to care. Next movie, A Bad Mom's Christmas. Like, I have watched Bad Moms a couple of times with the intention of watching this one right after it, but I haven't done that yet. And now the year I've seen it, I haven't seen Bad Moms, which is ironic. But I really, really like Bad Moms. It's, again, not the best movie ever made, but it's so much fun to me. And it's, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. But About Mom's Christmas just wasn't as good. I feel like this has the same problem I feel like Ted has to me, because I quite enjoyed Ted, but like Ted 2 I didn't like. And I feel like this movie kind of falls in the same thing, when like the first movie is like praised for like having raunchy jokes and like daring to do that or like something, I don't know. And then the second movie just leans into that too much and kind of like takes plot away to be able to make more raunchy jokes. I'm just like, I didn't like you just because you had raunchy jokes. I liked you because of your plot as well. And then Liz just didn't really do that plot anymore. I'm already getting to the second to last thing I'm going to talk about, which I'm not really going to talk about. Now, John Mulaney and the Lunch Bunch. I love John Mulaney so much. I don't know why, but he can tell like the most simple story, and I just crack up laughing so hard. I really like his comedy. And then this is not really a comedy special, but it's still like something. And I watched it, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit weird, but like I get that it's trying to parody something, but that's something I didn't really grow up with, so I just feel like it missed the mark for me, really. But it still was a lot of fun. But I feel like other people, like people maybe a little bit older than me, or it just maybe an American thing, might just like enjoy this better. But I feel like this was just very random. Last movie of the year, the decade, the month. Whew. My last movie of every year for the past couple of years, The Muppet Christmas Carol, which is my favorite movie of all time. I love Christmas Carol retellings. I've always loved Christmas Carol retellings. I don't know why, but as a kid I was fascinated by the story of Christmas Carol. I've seen a lot of retellings of Christmas Carol. Believe me, I've seen Barbie Christmas Carol, because I also love Barbie as a kid, obviously. But yeah, I feel like this one is the best one I've seen, and it will be very bad to top. Like, it'll be very hard to top, because it just, I feel like this captures the like lightheartedness and fun and love that the story is supposed to tell, but also doesn't shy away from the darkness of it, because this movie gets dark for a Muppet movie if you think about it. And it fills me up with joy, it makes me cry, and it just, I know this movie almost by heart. Also, Wizard of Rat in this movie, excellent. Gonzo and Wizard of Rat in this movie is honestly so great. And yeah, those are all the movies I saw in the month of November and December. For 2020, I'm going to try and do these monthly again, because just easier than every 2 months. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you watched any of these movies, let me know in the comments below what you thought of them, as well as some of the movies you watched in November and December. And I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated?